Hi, you're watching ASEAN Weekly with me, Sandra Han Utsaha. In tonight's episode, we take a closer look at the management of labor migration in Thailand and ASEAN with Dr. Gao Kwan Thangtipongkoon, the assistant professor of the Faculty of Economics at Thammasat University. But first, we'll have a look at what has been happening in the ASEAN region this past week.
China and Malaysia have come up with a revised deal to resurrect the East Coast Rail Link project, linking Malaysia's big West Coast ports to a Chinese joint venture industrial park and port on the East Coast and the underdeveloped Eastern region. In 2017, then Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak hailed the ECRL to be built and funded by China as a game changer for the country's underdeveloped East Coast region. A year later, his government was swept away by the election victory of Mahathir Mohamad, who announced that he was cancelling the 680-kilometer project. However, since the main Chinese contractor, China Communications Construction Company, or CCCC, had already spent a large sum setting up base stations, importing equipment, and doing preliminary works, if the Malaysian government stuck to its guns and canceled the project, it would have to pay the contractor more than $5 billion in compensation. After a month of negotiations, the two governments have agreed to a deal, slashing around one-third of the original cost of $16 billion, while shaving just 40 kilometers of the original route. Predominantly Catholic Philippines expressed condolences for France on Tuesday after a fire razed parts of the Gothic Cathedral north of them overnight. Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines spokesperson said the incident was a loss to Christianity and hopes the damaged cathedral will rekindle the Catholic faith in France, where it stands as a place of pilgrimage and prayer for devotees around the world. Meanwhile, Catholic devotees at the Church Plaza in Manila said the fire, which coincides with Holy Week commemorations, was a test of their faith from God. The fire was extinguished on Tuesday after burning for about 8 hours. The cathedral's spire collapsed and its roof was largely razed, but firefighters were able to rescue many of the priceless artworks and religious relics stored inside. Around 8 to 10 people in the Philippines are Catholic, making it the region's stronghold in Asia.
And that is the end of the first segment, but don't go away, as up next we have an interview with Dr. Gao Kwan Thangtipongkoon, an assistant professor of the Faculty of Economics of Thammasat University, about the management of labor migration.
In 2019, Thailand is ready for ASEAN chairmanship, working together and building solidarity to increase competitiveness and innovation with the people at the center. All sectors are ready to promote unity of the ASEAN community. NBT World is excited to be a full supporter of the Thai ASEAN chairmanship. Keep up to date on ASEAN 2019 movement with NBT World.
Welcome back to the program, and this is ASEAN Weekly. International labor migration is defined as the movement of people from one country to another for the purpose of employment. Today, an estimated 4 to 5 million migrants are working in Thailand, and many more are in the other ASEAN countries. Despite the efforts that are being made to ensure the protection of migrant workers, many remain vulnerable and assume significant risks during the migration process. So tonight, we speak to Assistant Professor Dr. Gao Kwan Thangtipongkoon from the Faculty of Economics of Thammasat University about this. สวัสดีค่ะ Assistant Professor Gao Kwan.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณซันดรา
Thank you so much for joining us for the show. So, could you please give us an overview of labor migration in the ASEAN countries?
So, the overview of labor migration in ASEAN, you can see that among the countries of the ASEAN, migration has continued to grow. ASEAN countries are significant centers as well as destinations for migrants. Migrants from neighboring countries like Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar crosses the border to Thailand to work in different industry like agriculture, domestic work, construction, manufacturing. Also, Indonesian migrants go to Malaysia for agricultural domestic work. So we can see that Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore have already become major destinations for migrants. The mobility of workers is an important part of economic integration in ASEAN. The AEC blueprint envisions reducing and standardizing documentation requirements and improving the mutual recognition of professional qualifications. As we know, according to the AEC blueprint, this arrangement currently covers only few professionals like doctors, dentists, nurses, engineers, architects, and researchers who account for approximately like 5% of employment in ASEAN countries. However, the context of majority semi and low skill mobility across ASEAN countries is not really discussed in the AEC blueprint.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that overview. So, we are seeing an increasing trend in labor migration in the region. Do you consider this to be a threat or an opportunity?
There is definitely potential gain to migrant and their family as well as country they live and the one in which they are going to work. We see that the countries such as Singapore and Thailand will face with a shrinking labor force, while other ASEAN members like Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, and the Philippines are expected to see their labor forces grow in the next few years. So migrants help address labor market shortage in receiving countries. Besides the number of labor force, we see that there is a disparity on wages. Certain countries like Singapore has very high average wages that other ASEAN members can benefit from there. Migrants can send money back to their home country to help their family and like friends.
Mm-hmm. And if we look at the economy, migrant labor is one of the driving forces for the Thai economy as well as for many other countries in ASEAN. So, do you agree with this and could you explain?
Um, I totally agree with the statement and not only apply for Thailand. If we take a look on the past statistics, like from like since 1990s until now, okay, you're gonna see that intra-ASEAN migration increased from like 1 to 1.5 million to maybe more than 6 million right now. And we see that Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand are major hubs for migrations. And foreign workers actually help elevate this labor shortage problem in these countries.
Mm-hmm. And so, one of the root causes of labor migration is the lack of employment in the laborers' own countries. Are there any other reasons why people may migrate for labor?
Okay, whenever we discuss about the labor migration, we often refer to certain concept is called push and pull factors in migration. Pull factor in economics, political, social, and environment factors often refer to the situation that people migrate to find better job opportunities, higher wages, find a place that has like political stability, and maybe a better living standard in terms of welfare or healthcare. On the other hand, people push factors is referred to the situation that people migrate away from the home country due to maybe like recession, political instability, poverty, natural disaster. So there are several causes of labor migration that we see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And yes, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, nope.
Okay, now migrants and their families, especially those who migrate irregularly, are particularly vulnerable to abuse and exploitation due to their legal status. What measures do you suggest the government roll out to help better manage this problem?
Okay. First of all, we have to understand why there are like there are many undocumented workers. None of migrants want to be undocumented workers, and one of the barriers that define after we interview, after we research, or doing several reviewing. We see that one of the barrier here is cost to migrate. Cost of to migrate to the legal is very high. Okay? And if the government or the home country or receiving country able to reduce this cost to migrate to be lower, be able to solve this type of problems. The recommendation and suggestion for this problem is maybe make the information less asymmetric to everyone. Okay. The second is maybe link migration admission system to labor market demand, maybe offering migration orientation program to improve employment experience abroad, or anything that able to reduce the cost to migrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the problems that migrants have faced have been persisting for centuries. And do you think there are loopholes of this issue? And how can we close the loopholes?
Okay. Actually, this problem exists for a long time. Okay, and the recommendation for this loophole is similar to the earlier questions. Okay, making movement within ASEAN countries less costly would improve the welfare of ASEAN workers. And whenever we're talking about migration system, okay, it consists of several components. Okay, and the key component that we should target is governance of the system, the admission component, the employment component, exit component, enforcement component. So these components are the major components that should make it more efficiently. Okay. By improving this system, okay, it will reduce the migration cost and would lower this undocumented workers problem in the medium to the long run.
Mm-hmm. And could I also ask an additional question? How many undocumented workers do you think there are in Thailand? Do we have a number, an
There
estimate?
is no exact number right now, but there is a forecasting or approximate is more than 4 million undocumented workers.
Oh,
It's quite difficult to keep tracking on the number because we don't have data
right,
and they do not report it. So
right.
it's on like approximating.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so I hear that Singapore is actually a country that is being very successful at managing the international labor migration. Can you tell us about this?
Yeah, Singapore has very good best scenario in many things. Okay? And one of the best scenario or one of the better scenario that we can learn from Singapore is Singapore has very low level of informal migration, maybe due to the geographic location and also very effective system. Okay. And experience that we can learn from Singapore, there are many, but we're gonna discuss maybe four like big significant thing today. The first one is institutional framework. Okay, they have very clear and defined institutional responsibility on who responsible for what. In Singapore, the Ministry of Manpower developed and implement foreign labor policy, and divisions or department within the ministry know what are they doing, okay, who in charge of the welfare, who in charge of the work permit, who in charge of the enforcement, and they communicate to each other very well. Okay, this is the first one. The second one is on the recruitment. Since recruitment is like a first door for migrants to enter to the different countries, in Singapore, recruitment agencies are required to undertake a training program prior to being licensed, and if their license is revoked, okay, they have to retake again. Okay. The third one is employment term. If we take a look on the term or employment term in Singapore, we're going to see that they have a well-defined employment terms on differentiate migrant by skill and productivities. So with the employment term, we're going to see that who going to benefit from what kind of things that they can earn. And we know from the employment term in Singapore that higher skill or higher productivity worker will have more benefit than unskilled worker. And if unskilled worker want to reward more, then they can improve themselves through training or make themselves have a higher skill, then they can move on. And this is third one. The fourth one is targeting of enforcement. We see that Singapore has worked to strengthening enforcement of sanctions on employers, so they impose significant fine on employers with jail term possible for repeat offenders. So these are four things that I think is strengthening the foreign worker management in Singapore.
Right. Assistant Professor Gao Kwan, thank you for those examples and for enlightening us on this issue. It seems like you've given us a lot of food for thought. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Okay, thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
ค่ะ
And that was our talk on international labor migration management with Assistant Professor Dr. Gao Kwan Tangti Pongkun from the Faculty of Economics of Thammasat University. Thank you for joining us for ASEAN Weekly. I'm Sandra Han Utsaha. สวัสดีค่ะ